There are days in this job that feel like routine, cases come and go, faces blur together, and the weight of justice rests heavy on my shoulders. But then, there are days that shake you to your core. Days that remind you why you chose this path in the first place. That day started like any other. I walked into the courtroom, adjusted my robe, and took my seat at the bench. I glanced down at the case file in front of me, State versus Marcus Carter, just another name on paper. Another defendant waiting for judgment. But when I looked up, my breath caught in my throat. The man standing in front of me, in handcuffs, wearing an orange jumpsuit, was someone I knew. Someone I never expected to see in this position. It was Marcus. The memories hit me all at once. Marcus and I grew up together. We weren't just friends, we were brothers in every way that mattered. We had each other's backs from the time we were kids running through the streets of our neighborhood, playing basketball until the streetlights buzzed on. We dreamed of better lives, swore we'd make something of ourselves. I had kept my promise. He hadn't. I forced myself to stay composed, but my mind was racing. How did this happen? How did my best friend from childhood end up in front of me, waiting to hear how many years of his life I would take away? The charge was burglary. The evidence was solid, security footage, witness testimony. Marcus had broken into a convenience store late at night. He wasn't armed. He hadn't hurt anyone. But the law was the law, and according to the sentencing guidelines, he was looking at serious time. I swallowed the lump in my throat and forced my voice to remain steady. Mr. Carter, do you have anything to say before sentencing? For a long time, he didn't answer. He kept his eyes down, shoulders slumped as if he already knew his fate. But then, slowly, he lifted his head and looked right at me. And the moment our eyes met, I knew he recognized me too. Judge Williams, he said, his voice quieter than I remembered but filled with so much emotion. We used to be best friends. The courtroom stirred. I could hear the whispers, feel the curious glances from the attorneys, the bailiffs, even the jury. But none of that mattered. I cleared my throat. I remember, I said, my voice barely above a whisper. Marcus let out a bitter chuckle. Yeah, you got out. I didn't. His words hit me like a punch to the gut. He was right. I had left our neighborhood after high school, determined to make something of myself. I got scholarships, went to law school, and built a career. I became the kind of person people looked up to, a symbol of success. But Marcus, he had stayed behind. And now, here he was, on the other side of the law. I felt an ache deep in my chest. What happened, Marcus? I asked, even though I wasn't sure I wanted to hear the answer. He let out a slow, tired sigh. Life happened, man. My mom got sick. Bills piled up. I dropped out of school to work, but it was never enough. I tried, I really did. But one bad decision led to another. Then another. Next thing I knew, I was just trying to survive. He shook his head. I ain't making excuses. I did what they say I did. But I never wanted this life. I closed my eyes for a brief second, trying to process the weight of his words. He wasn't lying. I could see it in his face, the regret, the pain. The shame. But the law didn't deal in emotion. It dealt in facts. And the fact was, Marcus had committed a crime. If it had been anyone else, I would have followed protocol. I would have sentenced them without hesitation. But this wasn't just anyone. I took a deep breath. Marcus, I can't ignore what you've done, I said carefully. Justice has to be served. But justice isn't just about punishment. It's about redemption, too. The room was silent. The prosecutor sat up straighter, the defense attorney leaned in, waiting. I looked directly at Marcus. I'm sentencing you to a rehabilitation program. You'll complete job training, community service, and mandatory counseling. No prison time, but you have to work for this. You have to prove you still want a better life. The murmurs in the courtroom grew louder. The prosecutor frowned. I knew some people wouldn't agree with my decision. But I didn't care. Marcus stared at me, his eyes filled with something I hadn't seen in them before, hope. The bailiff stepped forward, ready to escort him out. But before he left, Marcus turned one last time. His voice was barely a whisper, but I heard every word. Thank you. And in that moment, I knew I had made the right choice. That case changed me. It reminded me how fragile the line is between success and struggle. How easily our places could have been switched. Sometimes, the difference between being a judge and being the one on trial isn't about being better. It's about having a chance. That day, I didn't just sentence a defendant. I gave my friend a second chance. And I prayed he would take it. Hello, amazing viewer. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more awesome content, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. I'd also love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. Let me know what you think. And if you found this video helpful or entertaining, please share it with your friends and family. Your support means the world to me and helps this channel grow. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.